Sup shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we're going to be checking out a track from an act named Monicazation titled Hey Mama. If we switch over to here, Hey Mama, got Monicazation, Hey Mama, the video for it, we're going to be, we got a fair bit of attention for this. Nice like to dislike ratio here, great, awesome, got all the social media links here, sweet as, hey? Awesome, I'm looking forward to this. We're going to listen through this track from start to finish and hear what we think. And just before we get into it, I don't particularly tend to spend too much time on the video elements of it. I prefer to focus on the audio, as that's what I'm more sort of knowledgeable about. So let's get into it. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a lot slower than I thought it was. Really? Very energetic sort of synth. I mean, sorry, they're literally the opposite of an energetic synth. It's very somber, isn't it?
Hey mama,
oh.
Dry your tears. Hey mama, fight your fear.
This is a very somber performance, isn't it? Vocally, as well as with the synths and the percussion. Nice filter on that, on the kicks for a moment. Nice, so very. Okay, repeating these vocal melodies, sweet as. Okay, hitting those notes cleanly, sweet. Oh, we got some interesting sort of vocoder-ish modulated vocals in the background as like a call and response kind of thing going on. I kind of dig that. There's a fair bit of production value in the song.
Time will change everything as you go on. Time will come, it won't be long.
There's a super low-key vibe to this track that I can't really put my finger on specifically what it is about it. It's a very relaxing experience listening to this, almost therapeutic.
Things will be alright, it's just a test of time.
Test of time. Oh, so we're just trying to get through the situation we're in and come out a stronger person, or we're trying to get to the end where we can be safe.
Dry your tears, mama. Hey mama, dry your tears.
The song sounds quite supportive. You've got some very sort of like, I don't want to say simple because I know how much work's going on in regards to the different tracks and the panning of them and the effects chains and just the choices. The subtle little shimmers of extra going on within this track.
Hey mama, fight your fear. Don't listen to the sound of pain holding you down.
You know, like there's a 4-chord progression going on here, but it doesn't sound like your typical one. We're splitting it up on the first, second, 3 to the 4 beats. Dun, dun. Oh, okay, I get it. Actually, it's on the 8th note groove. Again, like that. Close your eye, and I can't sing, but like it goes into this headphone there, and that response to her main vocals, Monicazation's main vocals. And it's just fascinating. I haven't really heard music like this before. I'm kind of expecting it to sort of crescendo at some point, but it just continues to maintain this kind of energy about it. I could because of the vocal timbre. Like, Monicazation sounds like the most kind of chilled out person you could be around. Like, she's emoting well, don't get me wrong. The feelings are coming across here. It's almost like Monicazation's been there before and done that, and they're trying to sort of tell you, kind of soothe your anxiety about the situation, I suppose.
The wind of change is here, blowing around. You've got to break the chains that's wearing you down. You can do this deep inside.
It's really well mixed. All the different instruments are sounding really like you can hear all the different elements within the mix really clearly. You know, the EQing's been done well. There's filter work there where required, and the compression and limiting on the mastering chain as well as the reverb change and stuff are good.
Close your eyes and see the wonder.
It's almost sort of a very misty composition. You know, you've got a bit of a mystique to it, with these kind of ethereal sort of synth pads going on that are almost cloud-like.
And see the wonder. Unfolding your head, mama. You've got this one, mama.
You've gone this far, you can keep going.
Raise your head, mama.
Nice vocal harmony there, I dig it.
Got this one, mama.
That was modulation on that vocal then, like sort of a vocoder kind of thing on one of the channels, not both of them. Like obviously Monicazation can sing, but it's nice to have that secondary layer that's sort of a bit more synthetic there to kind of contrast and make it sound bigger or more interesting. Okay, fascinating. Fascinating track. I didn't know what to expect because I haven't listened to Monicazation before. But I do quite like it. You know, we've got Hey Mama from the Bird in the Cage motion picture soundtrack, directed by Robert O. Peters. Yeah, I mean, I said I wouldn't comment too much on the video. I think it was reasonably well shot, directed, and produced. It portrayed the message well, I think, and I understood what was going on without being too blunt. The audio, for 4 minutes, it was one of the most peaceful, sort of consistent tracks I've heard in a way that I think was, you know, occasionally when you have that one vibe for 4 minutes, it can be a little bit kind of like you get the first 2 minutes over and done with and you're like, okay, what's next? But with Monicazation, I kind of was like enjoying that serenity, I suppose, in a sense. I feel like if Monicazation had put more sort of intensity behind any of those vocal lines, it might have seemed a little bit out of place. I think it was an intentional stylistic decision by Monicazation and everyone else involved. And it seemed to work out. It will be interesting to see what else Monicazation has done, actually, because I want to see if this is something that's sort of specifically for this song or if it's for other ones in her discography or a set list. It would also be interesting to hear the song live. I kind of think sometimes when I review these tracks, I've reviewed like well over 1,000 songs to date, if not 2,000 over the last 18 months. And it's like, you know, how would this song sound live? How would you approach a live performance? I think that'll be kind of cool to experience that, to see what is done here. I think that there's a lot of room for things you could add to the song and the composition and the instrumental, but I think the openness, the space within the composition is a strength because it allows you as a listener to focus on taking the story and the lyrics and the hook lines and just to focus on the messages being portrayed. There's not too much to sort of overwhelm you. And I think if it had been most other types of subject matter within the lyrics, it might have been like, okay, I got this in the first 30 seconds, but there was a real, again, a support within the vocal performance there and the textures and emotions that were going and portrayed by Monicazation. The vocal technique was pretty spot on. It was pretty good for the most part. There wasn't a whole lot of ornamentation or anything like that, but the notes were hit. And I'm liking the vocal production as well with the difference of the vocal takes and the modulation on some parts of it, including in the call and response ones that I pointed out. You know, the actual instruments performance, you know, tracks, there were a lot of different little things that came in intermittently. You had sort of synth pads that were around and kind of a jabby kind of arp kind of thing, bum, bum, you know, sort of semi-percussive there with the different types of percussion. Some were filtered and some were like more sort of fresh sounding and unfiltered, and yeah, it was nice and loud in the mix without pumping. The production, the mixing mastering was generally pretty good. I don't really have any complaints about this track. It's a reasonably good first impression. I feel like I could just chill out and have a glass of something and just kind of enjoy myself after that track. It's weird. Like, I know the subject matter discusses someone going through hell and trying to come back from that, but at the same time, I think anybody going through a tough time listening to this track would be able to feel a sense of sort of peace from hearing this. So I see this as a song which, although potentially sort of targeted at a specific audience, I think most people would benefit from listening to this track. And effectively, that is my review of Monicazation's Hey Mama. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this track, please do go check out Monicazation's various social medias and YouTube page. Stay cool and stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. Catch you in the next review. Spider hands up.